You want balance no matter what. Collapse and come forward. One, two, three. Knee smash. Drive down using the ground as the striking tool. But I like the idea of a single hit, but also a follow-up combination. So now we're gonna get into one of my favorite techniques in the kata, which is the knee smash, or Hiza ate, in triple strike combination. The concept from Seisan is that we're using our hands to guide the head into a knee kick, where we are then grounding our opponent and posturing so that we can throw a final decisive strike. So guiding them in to the knee, grounding, and then attacking. These three ideas are tremendously effective for real-world self-defense. Now, this is a perfect sequence to really break down and show every element that makes the technique what it is when it's put together. Understanding how each of these elements play into the whole technique is instrumental, and thinking of it as the sum of the parts are greater than the whole will really help you appreciate that with this particular sequence. So, as always, we're going to start by analyzing the upper body, then we'll look at the lower body, and then we'll put it all together. We'll begin by examining the hand position and the knee lift in a stationary, static posture. So first, I want to lower my hand to where my knee will meet and deliver the strike. Now, why is this necessary? I don't want to think where my hand goes. The hand should be automatic. It is positioned across from my navel, approximately the distance of my femur. So since my thigh bone is a certain length, my hand to be at the end of that. And so that's where I want it to be on my body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next, I want to bring the hand and the knee together. So let's look at the knee. Don't use excuse of speed when applying tactics to not have balance. You want balance no matter what, whether you choose to leave quickly or whether you choose to pose in a position. So now let's put them together. 1. And if you can't hold here for a second, the balance isn't there. 2, 3. Let's look at the grounding element of the technique. So I'm saying grounding. What this is positioning your opponent to be closer to the ground so that when you strike, they are further away from you and that you can use the ground. Let me draw a comparison. So if you delivered a knee kick and then you had the target and then you slammed it down, that wouldn't be an incorrect interpretation of what's happening in Seisan. It looks considerably different than the kata, but the kata is very conservative in its actions. Knee smash. Drive down using the ground as the striking tool. What we're going to do is to collapse our body downwards from our sanshin position. So in the kata, my left foot's in front. I'm going to collapse and drop down. This doesn't feel strong from my perspective, but I know it is because it's my body weight dropping. Now, paired with this will be a shifting of my torso. I don't want to lean forward so much where I can be pulled down, but what I like to do sometimes to illustrate the strength of this position is have a person lie on the ground, and then I lower my body and let them grab the lapels, and then I stand up and I show them that even at this angle, I can still be effective with someone pulling down on me. Of course, they can kick up, so I want to avoid getting my head too low. But this drop and shift is going to be very powerful when using your arms to push them down. So let's show this a few times. I want to collapse and come forward. Collapse and come forward. Collapse and come forward. Bear with me, I know it looks a little extreme. Okay, so in the kata, we have 1, 2. Let's take a look at what the hands are now doing to assist the body in grounding our opponent. So start by taking 2 hands, put them on top of one another, and think of having something here, perhaps right on top of someone's head. And now think, driving it down. Okay, pretty easy to relate to. Now, let's try one with the hand flipped up. Easy enough. Next, let's push down and draw it back and prepare for a strike. This is the idea. So, after I strike, I'm going to use the secondary hand to drive down before I pull up and shift my body. So here's the exercise. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Notice the difference from here to here is very small. One thing I'd like to point out, you see different hand postures. I like to be here. The reason is because it's closer to Sanshin than this, and it's easier to brace and prevent someone from rising. If I do this, I'm not really able to access the strength of the front of my body as well. So I'd rather be here, and I can keep them down. Is this a deal breaker? No, but it has disadvantages in terms of its ability to push down. I like to be ballistic, and you hear me hitting the ground loudly. Of course, I wouldn't do this in kata. Now, when performing this technique, it's important that I not look down. Look up and scan everything. In order to do an effective knee kick, I need to straighten my foot. Right now, I'm internally rotated. I'm rooted. Strong for connecting to the ground, less effective for doing a knee kick. So we had guiding the opponent into the knee, we had stuffing and grounding them, which could be an attack in and of itself, and now we have the final triple one-knuckle punch. Now in application, one hand would be used to control so that I can be more accurate. With precision weapons, accuracy is a big deal. So if you're choosing to use a one-knuckle punch, we're targeting the neck area or perhaps the side of the head. Personally, I'd rather go to softer tissue. It'll be a win no matter where you strike. But I want to use my hand and my fingers as talons or claws to manipulate what I have. Or my hands are going around that neck and I'm squeezing as hard as I can to hopefully touch my fingers together. That being said, after the knee lift and the push, I want to pull my hand that's on the bottom like a pulley and strike and then repeat. Boom, boom, before I rebuild. So from down low, I want to think of using my center, being quick and heavy. The first strike has to be incredibly quick. It has to relax and strike through the target. Visualize making contact and penetrating. Important for your visualization. Stop. But I like the idea of a single hit, but also a follow-up combination. So I choose to think of it like that. I'm practicing both a single hit as well as as well as a double attack. Okay? So we have the knee smash. And rise from Seisan Kata.